Today's podcast is sponsored by Tennessee Craft Beer Magazine. Find them online at tncraftbeermag.com. There you'll find digital copies of their magazine along with a statewide brewery map, events calendar, and you can even subscribe to their print edition from the website. How cool is that?
That's awesome.
I mean, you know, our friends and our great supporters at Tennessee Craft Beer Magazine have been awesome for us.
They have been great. And they bring out your excited NPR voice. So.
I know, right? It's my only chance to use it most of the time.
It's not as boring as NPR voice. It's like this. It's like if the guy NPR is having a really good day. so
I'm an NPR and I'm on an upper.
Exactly.
tncraftbeermag.com. And with that, we'll start the podcast.
Yes.
Way down in the bottom of a bottle, and I ain't gonna change my ways. But I ain't half bad when I do what I ought. It don't happen much these days.
All right, and welcome to our Humble Beer Podcast. This is your host, Chris Hill.
This is DJ Loop.
And we are here chilling in the Goldfinch Pub.
The Goldfinch Pub. It's becoming pretty famous. Little pub here in Knoxville.
Yes, it is.
It's invitation only. So
invite only. It's a private, exclusive club to be a part of.
Yeah.
And
one day you'll be a part of it.
Yeah.
Listen.
Wait. I'm not a member?
No, you're a member. I mean, I'm talking to the audience.
Oh, okay. So, I got worried there for a minute. You're an
official member of the Goldfinch Society.
I figured so, but had to ask. So, question for you: why are we here?
Well, I guess we're kind of almost doing a mini reboot of the Humble Beer Podcast.
We're 41 episodes in.
41 episodes in. Who thought it would be here today? We're still going strong.
Don't plan on stopping either.
Beers and babies and all kinds of stuff and marriages. It doesn't stop the Humble Beer Podcast.
No, it doesn't. And you were so worried. I remember your biggest fear was like getting married one day and settling down. And I remember looking at you and be like, DJ, you're going to be married, have a house and a kid before I ever do. That was not entirely true.
No.
But you did have a kid before me.
I did have the kid for you, but I mean, with I hate the phrase settling down. It comes with having a pub in your basement, so.
You know what? It's if that's what you get out of it, that's a pretty fair trade.
Trade-off.
Yeah, it is.
Baby, pub and basement.
Baby, pub and basement.
You should all be happy.
Yeah. So with the change, I guess just to update the audience a little bit on what's going on, you probably noticed we're releasing episodes a little more quickly than usual. Our goal is to shift to a every other week schedule now, with a release either on Tuesday or Thursday, just depending on life. I don't think we've quite landed on Tuesday or Thursday yet.
Yeah.
But basically 2 weeks from the release of this episode, you'll see the next episode and so on. We've got a few that we're finishing up from our adventures in Nashville here recently, which we'll get into in a minute. And yeah, we're just going to a little bit more of a format where DJ and I get to chill, talk a little bit more, and drink beer and just enjoy, and discuss more of the industry and not just always be doing brewery interviews. So it's going to be fun. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. We're still doing interviews. It'll actually allow us to introduce some new segments. We're going to be, we've been working on a segment for a while called Making a Brewery, which is going to be coming out probably in the next 3 months or so. We're working on finishing that up with some of our good friends, and there's just some exciting stuff coming down the pike.
2 years in the making. Beers of the SEC too.
But you know what?
We probably teased and promised beers of the SEC like 100 times.
we're not always the best at keeping our promises, but by golly, we're going to keep the consistency promise. And the beers of the SEC, let's just say we hope and pray that it happens. Just like Tennessee's football season, we hope and pray that we at least get enough wins to go to a bowl game this year.
Exactly.
You're going to hope and pray that we get beers of the SEC. But no, seriously, we're doing a lot more. I think you guys are going to really enjoy the new format and everything we're doing. So
Yeah, I think it's going to be still the same old humble beer, but just I think more consistent and get to kind of get more conversation about what's going on in the beer scene, just instead of just interviews. So
yeah,
which I liked. I like to hear what's going on in the beer scene, what new beers are coming out.
And we've already had kind of a format of just sitting down with people in the industry and talking. So now we're going to start doing some segments, and you'll just see new stuff all the time. Probably with the way we're shifting this up. So yeah, it's going to be fun, man.
It's going to be fun,
dude. I'm excited. So with that said, what the heck has been happening? I mean, people have seen. We've kept up our release pacing, I guess, of about one a month. And I know that's what most folks have come to expect, but we had, people have probably noticed everything's from like a 2-day span that we've released here recently. Yeah. And so I'm sure people are wondering, like, why did Chris and DJ do that? Are they going to record anymore?
We had a fun weekend in Nashville.
Dude, it was great.
I mean, we partied till 3 o'clock in the morning.
We did. It was insane. And we were up there for the Preds game, and we got wasted. No, we were in bed by 10 o'clock. Let's be honest.
Old man hill.
We were old man. Yeah, I was I was sick. I mean, in my defense, I was sick and I was not feeling well. But
we had to go ahead and get a bunch of recorded because Avit came in the world.
Who's Avit?
That's my son.
Oh my gosh,
3 months old. So he came into this world and blessed us all here at the Goldfinch Pub.
Yeah.
And so we had to go ahead and get a bunch recorded and release them over time. That way we could keep the thing rolling while I was changing diapers.
Well, and that goes back to why kind of we're shifting up the format a little bit, is so that we can drink beer. We can drink beer here and not have to necessarily drink beer. Oh gosh, that was loud. Where'd he go? It fell off of you. Did you break it?
No.
Microphone drop.
It happens. I was reaching for my beer. It's okay.
No, that's fine. Yeah. So the reason we'll edit that out. We'll make it pretty later. Anyways, that was awesome. So part of the reason for the change is not just because DJ's having a kid. It's because I'm having a kid too.
Wow.
And so we're trying to work, the Humble Beer Podcast into our lives, into our schedules, and this works out great because our wives can hang out upstairs and we can keep everybody happy. So, and still drink a lot of beer. So.
Still have a lot of beers and do some trips.
Oh yeah, and we're still going to travel. We've got some plans, which I'm not going to talk to because I promise too much, and then things don't come true. So I don't want to get anybody's hopes up. But we got some cool stuff in the works. Cool stuff. Speaking of travels. You just got back from not St. Louis.
Close.
Yeah, kind of. Why I'm drawing New Orleans. New Orleans. They got the New Orleans Saints, right?
Well,
so
there you go.
Saint. That's what
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
You tried to. That's good. Good try.
It was an
I went to New Orleans for see some family, and also Dylan at the beer market. It was his bachelor party. He's getting married in November, but he wanted to get all the guys together for our last hoorah in New Orleans, and we hit Bourbon Street, and I got to check out some breweries while we were down there. New Urban South Brewery, which was nice, in a big warehouse, as typical most in the warehouse district. It's not far from NOLA, and then Port Orleans Brewing Company. Port Orleans was cool. It was kind of the warehouse area too, but it was more kind of the kind of restaurant vibe too. It had almost kind of the abridged feel to it, which with the bar and the restaurant and the food service and Urban South Brewery was more kind of the standard warehouse brewery with the tap room plopped right down in the middle of the warehouse, which was cool. I like the atmosphere with the warehouse, like you're in the industrial area when you see the equipment and you get to taste all the beers. They had a Wide Oak IPA, which was really tasty.
Yeah, you brought some back and we shared it when we were doing
So
some strategic planning earlier. So
some market research or some research. Oh, am I?
yeah, no, you're fine. So so that's cool. That's cool. What so was the white oak your favorite when you were out there? Did you find anything else?
I think there was a pale that I really liked. We had several. I got some more in the fridge over here. We can try. I haven't actually tried them all yet, so I might try some. But the Port Orleans was good. I had their pale too. The pale is usually my favorite, like my standard go-to when I go into a new brewery. I try their pale ale because I don't want to go in for something super super hoppy at 1st, but I don't want to. But I want something with standard good flavor. So I always go for the pale ale first to see how flavorful it is and how good it is. What kind of, because if you know a brewery, if I know a brewery has a super super hoppy pale ale, I know what they're going to do with it. The IPAs are going to be either more hoppy, and like it kind of sets the tone for the brewery, in my opinion. Like a pale ale or a pilsner, you get the basic, some of the basic styles. If you get the flavor off those, you know kind of what the direction they're going with. They'll probably go with some of the other beers. So there were solid beers. There were, I really liked our Urban South. I think that's probably one of my new favorite ones down there, because we go down there for family a lot. So it's one I'll get back to. And
Gotcha.
Second Line Brewing Company's down there, and we really liked that last time we went. And I wanted to get back around to that, but I didn't able to. But I really like their stuff. So hopefully one time we get down there and talk to them or something.
Yeah, I mean, a NOLA trip should definitely be part of our trip. We could go. Well, I mean, it's not really NOLA, but we could go to LSU.
There you go.
Make a stop by. I'm sure that's in the general vicinity, right?
That's close enough.
Yeah, close enough. Anyways, so you can tell my extent of sports knowledge right here, I'm sure. But that's cool. Yeah. That's really cool.
It was fun.
Yeah. So
it was fun to send the manager of the beer market off in a big hurrah, and let's go out in the town and bourbon and drink some beers. And
yeah,
he's done a good job at the beer market for the past he's worked at the beer market for like 3 or 4 years now or more.
Yeah.
So Dylan, bye Dylan, you're going to Ohio. We're going to come drink beer in Ohio with you. We have somebody in Ohio.
Oh, he's moving. I didn't know that.
So he's moving.
I knew he was getting married up there. I didn't realize it was a move.
He's moving at the end of this month. So he'll be back in Ohio. There's some breweries in Athens and Columbus that we can go check out, and we have a place to crash at and a tour guide. So
yeah,
when we start venturing into the Ohio beer scene, we'll have somebody up there. So I'll be up there.
Wow.
I'll be up there in August for the Brew Dogs.
Okay.
Owners. I'm an owner.
Oh yeah. You're gonna have to report on that for us. You may even have to take some recording equipment up there and do some interviews if you.
I'm gonna try to bug the guy. See if I can bug him on Twitter and Facebook and until they're like, okay, we're gonna give this guy an interview, just to make him stop tagging us and emailing us. So.
Yeah, pretty much how we work. That's fun. But yeah, so that's really cool. So you've got a lot planned. I went to Prague. One of the other beers we split.
Yeah. Oh man, that was so delicious.
And if you all have been following us on Instagram, you can see I posted a lot of my Humble Beer, a lot to Humble Beer during that trip. It was over New Year's.
And we had that. How many months after you got back? It was like 5 because it was the beginning of last year. Yeah. So
yeah. I got a unfiltered Pilsner from Pilsner Urquell, and by the way, Pilsner Urquell is just fantastic. The brewery is like, I used to think that, and I still do, I should say, like going to Sierra Nevada is like going to see Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
It's just magical and it's really cool, and going and getting a tour of that brewery is awesome. But touring Pilsner Urquell was really, really good, because it was like, it wasn't just like, okay, here's a really cool state-of-the-art brewing process. It was, here's the history of the beer. You walked into this one section, like when they're first starting the tour, and you literally you stand on this platform, and there's a like 360 degree or 270 degree screen that plays, and your platform you're standing on literally rotates around until it puts you at another door, and you rotate around in a circle, and the door opens up, and you walk into the next area. It was like a Disneyland exhibit.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like Willy Wonka of craft beer, and they take you through like how the beer is brewed, the history behind the brewery, everything like that. And it was fascinating to learn the history of the brewery and everything there, because they've been around since the 1800s, and part of what they did to brew the beer was they actually built a cave system. It's like 6 miles of cave that are filled with beer barrels, and they still brew beer and keep it in those barrels to this day. And so they actually have some of the original barrels, or I don't know if they're officially original, but like barrels that date back to the 1800s in there that they use for quality control testing. So they still brew some of their batches the way they used to, so that they can do quality control on their old beer versus their new beer.
Oh, nice.
And you can also walk through those caverns, and they've got these giant beer kegs on the wall, or I guess beer barrels really on the wall, and they will, part of the tour is actually stopping in one of the rooms, and you actually walk by one of the tanks, and they pour beer out for everybody. And you walk and you just sit down and chill. So you're getting beer like as fresh as you can imagine, right out of these barrels in the original limestone caverns where they've had beer for well over 100 years. So that part of it was awesome.
Now, the real question is, did you go to one of the beer spas?
I did not go to one of the beer spas, but we did walk into a well, for one thing, there were a lot of Taiwanese massage parlors.
There you go.
right on the Old Town Square in Prague. That was pretty funny. But we did go to. There were a few places that were like beer spa related, where you could buy like stuff that was made with beer, and like soaps that were made with beer and hops and yeast and all that. It's just crazy stuff. So it was. I mean, it was a great trip. Obviously, you tasted the beer. I mean,
that was delicious, and it held up so well.
Well, having drank it on both sides, I can say yes, it did. It really did. It still not quite as good as having it fresh, but you get the atmosphere and the culture, with that. So I think that for me was just a fantastic trip. Being able to be there in person and experience that for myself was really fun. It's my second time in Prague, and the first time I went, I was underage, and I was on a church trip, so they wouldn't let you drink if you were underage. Thankfully, they were Presbyterian, and they did let some of the folks, enjoy a beer or two. But it was, not quite the same experience going back, and it was really fun. I enjoyed it. And beer is dirt cheap there. I mean, dirt cheap, like less than $2 for a pint, and most of it, you're not finding a lot of craft. There is some craft beer over there. In fact, we did go to a craft beer bar in Prague as well. And it was fun to see, I saw Elysian Space Dust on the wall, and a few other, stateside beers that people, I guess, had brought over to share with the bar owners. But it was cool to be able to experience it and be there in that culture. So, yeah, it was fantastic. It was a great trip. And then, so I've been traveling around San Diego. Did that too. That was more for, again, not brewery related stuff, or not humble beer related stuff. So I didn't get to spend a ton of the time in breweries, but I was with a group that was like, Chris, where do we need to go? So we hopped around to a few different places to grab pints and enjoy the beer.
I always laugh at people when they not to their face, by the way, behind their back. It's wonderful. But when they text me or call me and they're like, I'm in Philadelphia. What's the best breweries to hit in Philadelphia? I'm like, I've never been to Philadelphia. I'm like they just because I love craft beer, they think I know every every great brewery in every city.
Yeah.
And I try to tell them we're the Humble Beer Podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a great that's a great scapegoat for us.
Yeah.
It has been for a long time.
And so, like, I'll consult Mr. Google and find or like Beer Advocate or one of the like the beer websites or whatever, and I'll just plug in the city, and a lot of times they'll bring up like the top rated breweries in that city.
Yeah.
And here, I'll send them a link, and they're like, "Oh, you know everything about beer?" I'm like, "No, I can use it. I can use a smartphone."
Yeah. No, there's there are some good breweries in Philly though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's some good. I mean,
Everywhere.
really.
Really.
Every city
Yeah.
probably has. I mean, every city with the, well, especially now with the emerging craft beer culture that's going everywhere.
Yeah.
Almost, it's so there's
Even internationally, it's all over the place.
so when you go, you're gonna find the good craft beer bar. You're gonna find the good the brewery. You're gonna find that spot to hit in every town. So
Yeah. One thing I did notice. Sounds like we have rats or something up in your rafters.
it's the security.
Oh, is that what it is?
It's the security of the Goldfinch Pub.
Oh, Billy.
Protecting his domain.
Tap
Or
dancing.
her domain.
Yeah. New adventures.
Yeah.
New adventures in the podcast. But no, what was I going to say? The other thing I was going to tell you too about Prague, it was interesting. Like, you didn't have a lot of beer selection in most places. Either you went to a pub that was kind of sponsored by a brewery, or you could sometimes find, pubs that were a little more open and independent, and you could find a few different beers on tap. But it really varied from place to place. But the one thing I noticed that was trending over there was unfiltered beer, like what I brought back. It was an unfiltered Pilsner, and so unfiltered Pilsners are kind of something that I don't know how new it is, but it looks like it's a newer trend over there, and it's kind of like an IPA or a pale ale. More in its body and flavor. It's a little bit you can taste it's not quite as crisp. It's a little more hoppy. You can actually taste more of the hops in them. So that's the one thing I was really glad to be able to bring back to you was an unfiltered Urquell.
Yeah.
Because you can get Urquell anywhere.
And it was tasty.
It was good. It was good. So, anyways, all that to say, Prague was fun. Travels were fun. In Nashville was really fun.
Yeah, we had a good time in Nashville.
Yeah.
You've already heard New Heights. You've already heard, if you haven't heard, go back and listen to them.
Yeah, Black Abbey.
The release Black Abbey.
And last week,
Black Abbey was my favorite, probably. No, I mean, I don't have a favorite, but I really enjoyed being there with Carl and talking.
well, I like Black Abbey, but I really liked the tie-in that we had with Jackalope, because I really liked the horny bunny joke.
The horny bunny.
Like the fact that Carl told us about the horny bunny, and we and the way he was like, you got to tell these guys this. It's just too funny, and I wish we could have gotten that on the podcast.
Yeah.
That would have been a really good segue into the others, so you knew what to expect. But it was kind of better because we asked it all professionally, and then they just looked at us like, you guys are joking, right?
Yeah.
and yeah, the reaction we got out of them was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was they cursed Carl's name.
They did. So yeah, so we'll have to that was just really fun. So we enjoyed that, and then the last one we actually weren't supposed to record, which you'll hear next week, and that is Zons. And Zons was a really good episode. It was just really interesting because we had been to so many of the bigger breweries in Nashville that are growing and really getting popular. To go to such a small one that's doing really good beer on a small scale was really fun. And you got to nerd out.
Yeah.
And not because of the beer.
Oh, my English friends.
Yeah, you.
I had a couple pints with some guys from London that were big hockey fans, and they came over for their bachelor party.
That's right. Yeah.
And so we're talking about hockey with them, which it's getting important. It's getting close. But
Patience, DJ.
Patience, I know. But yeah, I get to geek out with and talk about English soccer with them and pints and talk with them and I had a good time. And I like that podcast because it was kind of off the cuff because we didn't really prepare for it much.
No, we had no idea we'd even be going over there.
Yeah.
Our good friends and sponsors of the Tennessee Craft Beer Magazine were in town, and they had helped us, as they always do, they had helped us secure some travel arrangements and some different places to go. And so they just called us out of the blue and said, hey, you guys want to come and record over here at Zahn's? And we said, absolutely. And we did. So that was really good and really fun. And so we did that, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was neat. It was a neat brewery. That guy had a neat story. So
Yeah, it was kind of cool and just to hear kind of how they came up in there. I like the fact that they were just normal, everyday kind of guys.
yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like to go to breweries that are eccentric and have kind of eccentric characters, but it's also kind of refreshing when you go and you just see normal, kind of average, everyday people. Mm-hmm. And I hope that he doesn't take that as a. I'm not saying that as a diss or anything.
no.
But it seems like the just average, hardworking guy
Well,
decides to open up a brewery, and that's what they are.
Yeah, and he seemed happy with the size of it. He wasn't ambitiously trying to grow it.
Yeah.
It's just what he wants to do, and it's a business that's good for him, so he's keeping it. So we wish him the best.
You see like a guy who owns like a small pub, and they just want to have a little small pub and run it and maintain it and make some money off of it. They want to open up. They don't want to make a chain. They don't want to open up 50 of them. They don't want to have their name everywhere. They just want to work and enjoy what they have.
Yeah, and it's one of the cooler breweries too, because you can't you can't go other places. I don't think he does sell kegs, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think it was.
He does sell kegs, but like you can't go outside of Nashville and get his beer, and he's not distributing outside. So if you want Zahn's beer, you got to come to Zahn's to get it.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. So it was a fun trip. We had a good time. Obviously, like we joked, I was a little under the weather. So
Yeah,
my focus was on having good podcasting, not an all night bender.
We went to Broadway and walked around for an hour, had two beers, went to a restaurant and had like an appetizer, and you're like, "Can we go back to the hotel room?" And I was like, "I guess so." Then we fell asleep debating politics.
We did, which was
Not cuddled next to each other. Not cuddled next.
Well,
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. We had to make up for that argument somehow. Wow, that's not getting in the podcast.
You
Or
should
is it?
Or
It probably will.
yeah, probably.
But anyways, all that to say, so we had a good time in Nashville. We came back and yeah, we've been DJ's been dealing with Avit, and yeah, we got some fun stuff on the horizon.
Yeah.
Looking to this summer, we're looking to do some things that, again, I'm not going to promise anything, so we'll keep that quiet, but we will talk about what we do know is coming up for a fact. One of the first and foremost, is the Knox Ale Trail map has been updated. And I happen to have an in with the guy who created it.
Oh, really? You know the guy?
I know him very, very,
What's
very
his
well.
name?
It's Chris Hill.
Oh,
yeah, that's
the other Chris Hill?
No, it's me. It's this Chris Hill. And yeah, so we've got a new map coming out, and actually by the time we release this episode, you should be able to find it.
Awesome. You can find out where all the different craft breweries are here in town.
Yeah. So if you don't know where all the craft breweries are in town, you'll be able to find it at places like Beard and Beer Market, Sugar Mamas, but you'll also be able to find it at all the breweries in town too. So go around, hunt that down. I think there's even going to be some at the Visit Knoxville Visitor Center. So if you're coming into town and you're visiting and you're just like, hey, let me check out this podcast to find out what craft beers are in town, check out that map. It'll be available by the time this is released. So really excited about having that out. And then in the fall, we're going to have more to come with the Ale Trail map too. Not just new breweries that are coming in, but we'll have some other stuff happening that'll be really exciting with that map as well. So yeah, you just have to wait and see, but it's going to be fun. Lots of new stuff. So we got that, and then other than that, we've got Knox Beer Week coming up, June 9th through 16th.
In our discussion, like kind of pre-discussion before this, we were like, "Oh, we need to talk about Knox Beer Week. When's it coming up?" Oh my gosh, it's like in a few weeks.
I know.
We were like, how fast it's kind of come upon us. It's like you had Brewibition a couple of weeks ago, which
it's less than a month away.
Brewibition is kind of like the kickoff to like the. I say it's kind of the kickoff to the, or if you kind of technically in April you have.
It's kind of the kickoff to the craft beer season.
Yeah, in April you have.
It's the opening pitch.
Thirsty Orange.
Opening pitcher.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to open in Johnson City. You have Thirsty Orange.
Yeah.
And that kind of kicks off the festival season, and we've kind of beat the festival horse to death when we talked about festivals so much. But it's kind of one of my favorite times of the year because it's like for me, like my sports, my main sports are kind of done, and so I've got the free time because I'm not engulfed in English soccer or Tennessee football, and so I get to go to these festivals on the weekends and kind of meet new people or meet new breweries and stuff, and then we have Knoxville Craft Beer Week that's coming up, and there's a kind of different thing every night of the week somewhere else, and we're promoting all the different breweries in town. It's kind of like if you're a craft beer fan in Knoxville, it's kind of like Christmas.
Yeah, it really is, and there's going to be so many different events this year. I know the guys that are working on it are trying to make it even bigger and better than last year, and it's going to be really cool. So if you're wanting to find out more and keep up with what events are coming, you can find them on Facebook. Actually, just at the Knoxville Craft Beer Week, just look that up on Facebook, and you'll be able to find them right away. They're right in there. So definitely check that out. And then, of course, that ends in Brewfest.
Yeah, tickets. I believe tickets are on sale now. So
yeah,
for Brewfest, if you need Brewfest tickets, you can Google that. And
just
Knoxville Brewfest.
Knoxville Brewfest in 2018, and
yeah,
you'll find it right away. And then, of course, DJ and I, we should be back there.
Yeah.
I don't see why Matt wouldn't let us back there.
Yeah.
So
hopefully, maybe have babies or maybe my baby on the back.
Yeah.
No. No.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be nice to have you back with us.
I know. Took the sabbatical to Key West. I said not sabbatical's not the correct word, but
yeah,
of the vacation. I was trying to make it sound more professional because Key West was kind of an interesting trip, but it was a fun trip. I talked about my breweries at Key West way back, probably several episodes ago. But
what would 9 months be from June, by the way?
9 months from June, no clue. I have to count in my head.
That would be kind of February, March time frame.
Yeah. I see where you're getting at.
That was a good sabbatical.
Yeah. Very good sabbatical.
Anyways, yeah. So with that said, yeah, there's a lot coming up and a lot to be excited about. But yeah, so that's it for this episode. Unless you've got anything else.
No, I'm good. I mean, I just keep on listening with the new format, and we're going to be in new segments, and we'll still have guests on.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to try to get an email out there, maybe get questions. Probably do something that and if you have any suggestions, you get us on Twitter or Facebook or
we don't often get a lot of chance for our own self promotion on our own podcast just because of how we host it, but. Yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions for me and DJ, or if there's anything you'd be interested in seeing us cover, talk about, let us know. Shoot us an email, or hit us up, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. At Humble Beer Pod. Should be able to find us pretty easily on those platforms. And then, hello, Billy. How'd you get down here? We have a dog down here with us now. But anyways, we've got we've got a lot going on, and
away she goes.
And away she goes. So yeah, we got a lot going on. So check us out there. Let us know what you think, any questions you have, and then also with this new format and everything too. Let us know what you think about it.
Yeah.
Any suggestions? We're open to them.
Yeah. And you never know. You could be in the Goldfinch pub hanging out with us,
Yeah.
having a conversation.
Yeah, you don't have to be a famous craft beer brewer to join us in the bar down here. All you got to do is like beer and drink beer.
Not to talk about drinking beer.
And like to talk about drinking beer. That's it. That's all we ask. So looking forward to it. We're going to have fun with this new format. And yeah, thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah. What's in your beer fridge, Chris?
You know what? I've basically, no, I'm not kidding. I've basically cleaned it out.
Yeah.
I have basically cleaned it out right now. Something about the wife being pregnant. She just wants less beer in the fridge. So
You got the New Orleans beers. You got a couple Dale's Pale. I got a Dale's Pale. Not Dale's Pale, but Oscar Blues Brewing Company mixer 12-pack. I got it at the store the other day, which was good.
You know what I do have?
What?
I have some cellared beers that we have yet to drink. We should probably bring them out.
Yeah, I got the. We need to do the Cold Mountain in July episode.
I've got a 3-year-old Cold Mountain.
Oh, I don't know. That's
not going to be good.
delicious or disgusting.
No, it's probably going to be disgusting.
I know.
And then I've got a 2-year-old Cold Mountain.
We should just drink. We
need to
July.
Just like 3 years worth of Cold Mountains. I think we'll do that Cold Mountain in July.
Yeah.
And then I've also what's better what I really actually have cellared though is some beers that we got from Blackberry Farm when we went up there and recorded with them, and then weren't able to release the episode.
I also, as a gift, got for Ava being born. Somebody rad gave me a first generation Blackberry Farm saison.
Ooh.
Like the very first bottling of it. It's numbered. I think it's number 46.
Oh wow! Are you going to open that?
I don't know. If I do, it will be for the podcast and for us.
Yeah. Oh well, of course. Yeah. But that cellared. I mean, same for me with my cellared Blackberry Farm stuff. Like I want to try it on the podcast because when he gave it to us, he had said, the yeasts are a little wild and they're still not fully fermented. Like, leave it in a little bit longer before you drink it. And he said you could hold it up to a few years even. So I've held on to it and cellared it, and yeah, we'll have to try it out and see what it tastes like. So
I got some funky sours I've been holding on to. You're at the pub too, so we got some beers to try in the future.
It sounds like you got a lot in your beer fridge. What is in your beer fridge?
I said that mixer 12-pack of Oscar Blues, the New Orleans beer, some Guinness, and some Boddingtons, because when you watch English football and soccer, you gotta have to Guinness and some bodies. So so that's usually that rolls in what goes good with sports.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, cool. Well, thank you guys again, as always, for listening. And yeah, remember to check us out online, humblebeerpodcast.com, and check us out on iTunes, Google Play. Make sure to rate us there too.
Yeah.
If you get a chance, let us know what you think of the podcast. Let the world know what you think of us, and yeah, please rate us on there. It helps us get awareness for what we do. So, yeah. With that said, this has been Chris Hill,
DJ Loop.
Remember to stay humble
and try new beer.
All right.
Yay!
New format.
'Cause I'm halfway down in the bottom of a bottle, and I ain't gonna change my ways.